Welcome to episode 4 of Project W, where we're taking you on a journey to create more opportunities, sales, and growth for your business using Walmart.com. We're showing you how to sell your Amazon products on Walmart.com using these same simple methods. I'm Carrie with Helium 10.
And I'm Tim Jordan with Private Label Agent. And in this episode, we're going to show you the actual anatomy of the search result page and listings for Walmart.com. Many of you have probably never spent much time on Walmart actually going through and seeing what that actually looks like. That's what we're going to do in this episode.
So in this episode, we're going to show you the components of a Walmart listing. We have a pretty good list that we're going to cover in no particular order. We're just going to kind of take you on a walkthrough through this whole listing experience on Walmart.com and show you the ins and outs and some observations that we've made as we've searched through Walmart.com.
Now, as Carrie's pulling this up, I want to make a note here. At the time of filming, we're showing you the best data that we have. We're showing you what's happening in real time. Walmart continues to update their platform. They continue to update listing viewing potential. They continue to update all the attributes of their listings and of their search result pages. In fact, at the time of filming, it was like 2 weeks ago when they drastically changed all of this. So if you're watching this a few months from now and you see some little variations, that's great. If they make some big changes, we'll try to refilm this episode for you. But just keep in mind that little things are being added to consistently. Yeah. The main pieces of listings and search result pages haven't changed a whole lot in the past at least couple days. So we feel pretty secure that we can go ahead and start showing you some stuff. And since they just did a big overhaul, hopefully it'll stay this way for a while. So we've got a search result page here because it is the quintessential private label product. We're searching for garlic press. So Carrie, why don't you show everybody kind of what we've got going on here?
Okay, so the first thing is, like, when you search garlic press, you can see these kind of smart complete things. And these actually you can see in Cerebro as well, and Magnet. You can see the smart complete keywords. So these are just suggestions of frequently searched products. So these are really helpful. I'm just going to go ahead and just do the main garlic press search. And then these boxes at the top, they're going to help you narrow down even more what you're looking for. So they have some really commonly used search for words in these boxes. So stainless steel is a very common one. The OXO, that's a brand. Mincer must be one that's really popular to go along with that. Rachel Ray is a brand as well, and then cleaner. So that's cleaning that little, garlics out of the little holes, which takes a long time with a toothpick. So this helps you to kind of narrow it down a little bit more. So if you clicked on stainless steel, you're going to only see stainless steel garlic presses. So after we have gotten to this page, this is what the search page looks like. And we can take a look at these images, and you can notice that's quite a bit different than, say, Amazon, where you literally have just a product and white space behind it. There aren't any guidelines for the first image in this regard, so you can see some lifestyle photos and photos with all the different accessories that are included.
I see some bad photos too.
You see some bad photos, exactly. So it's quite interesting to see the different photos on there. You can also see the title here, and I actually did a little character count on some of these, and I looked and saw that there were I think 90 characters on some
of these titles actually have more characters than were allowed in the listing creation guidelines. We'll get to that, I think, in 2 more episodes, but it was interesting to see.
You can see most of those characters as well on this search page, so that's kind of something interesting to consider in terms of your listing quality score. And then also, we've got the price listed here, and something else that I think is going to really make or break the deal for a lot of people is the shipping speed. So if somebody needs a garlic press really quickly, they're going to probably look for pickup or delivery really quickly. So there's 2-day shipping labeled, there's pickup, delivery, all those are labeled in these little blue boxes at the bottom here. Your rating is also going to be listed on here. So ratings are right now in Walmart, you can still sell things without any ratings, but I'm sure that these will become more and more important as time goes by. And I think those are the main things. Also, there's tags. There's reduced price on here. There's clearance.
Bestseller.
So, bestseller tags. You can actually, add these different badges onto your listings if you want to.
And there's also the first listing here is a sponsored ad. You see that word sponsored there. Now, I guarantee if we went to Amazon and typed in garlic press, there would be mountains and mountains and mountains of listings that were sponsored, people running PPC. It appears to me that on this quintessentially saturated and overly competitive keyword garlic press, on Walmart it looks like there may only be one person running an ad.
Yeah.
Now, there might be others that are so cheap they're on second or third pages, but it's interesting there's only one. we kind of missed one of these really important components that I'm most excited about. It's this little save with the Walmart sign. So what that is save with, or that's the tag for Walmart Plus. And Walmart Plus, we'll probably talk about that a little bit later more, but Walmart Plus is kind of the equivalent of Prime for Amazon. Walmart Plus rolled this out as a membership-only option. You get all sorts of cool stuff, whether it's anything from a little bit of a discount on gasoline if you purchase at their fuel stations, to free shipping on most listings, to guaranteed 2-day delivery. So kind of think of that as Prime, and there are certain things we as sellers have to do to qualify to get those badges.
Also on this listing is the add button here, and this is where you're going to kind of consider whether or not you want to put your listings in a variation or keep them separate. So clothing and things like that, where there's color and sizes, you're pretty much going to need to put those in a variation. So that's something to consider and remember. But if your product doesn't necessarily need to show the variations of your product, you're going to take up a little more real estate, and you're actually going to have access to this little add button where you can literally just click on add and it'll add it to your cart. Okay, so that's pretty amazing and easy for shopping experience, because people get a lot of information from your photo, your first photo, and the title and the price, and also the shipping speed. So, and then the star rating there, everything's there really for a lot of those quick shoppers if they need something quick to get something. Now, for the other button that we see down here is options. So options means it's a variation. So there's other options that you can choose from. So once you click in, then they've got to choose from these different variation options.
So if you do not have an absolute necessity to have variations, right, a variation listing, if you have maybe a stainless steel garlic press and a stainless steel garlic press with a silicone handle, we think it's probably best to have 2 different listings, like Carrie said, for more real estate. But just think about the buyer experience. All of these apps and all of these marketplaces want a one-click purchase option or straight to cart. So if you can activate that add to cart immediately without having to take somebody through extra steps of the buyer journey, that's a big benefit. Now, there are some categories like clothing where you're obviously going to have a lot of variations in sizes and things like that. It's not possible, but as a good example, if you had 2 different garlic presses that were very similar variations on Amazon, you might want to make them 2 different listings on Walmart.
Okay, so at this point, I think we should click into the listing and take a look at some of these different photos. Right now, you can add to cart these little buttons here, or you can click on the options. So this one has a few different more options. So I'm going to click on this to see
and that's
what
interesting.
the options are.
Go back, check this out. The sponsored ad is the 2nd position.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize that. It's actually hard to see the sponsored.
It is hard to see. They kind of
hide
it.
So low, so you really almost think some of these are organic.
Check this out. Remember, we've talked about how easy it is potentially to rank on Walmart. The #1 organic listing has 3+ day shipping. It doesn't have the Walmart Plus badge. It doesn't have 2-day shipping, and it only has 3 out of 5 stars, which is interesting. It's just more confirmation, like we should be able to rank pretty easily on these.
And I actually want to click on this to see, okay, so the category here is kitchen, dining, kitchen storage, and food storage. So this keyword is obviously connected to food storage. So on Walmart, your product type is connected to a list of search queries. So if you choose a product category that is not connected to those search queries, you're not going to actually show up. So that's something to also look at while you're doing your keyword research and you're creating your listing. So this is something we'll keep in mind when we're choosing our category. Walmart actually gives you the category automatically, but you can actually get it changed. So I'm going to actually go back though, because I don't want to look at that one because of the fact that it's not really like ours. But
let's go to this one.
Oh, that one? Okay.
Pioneer Woman 1.
I love Pioneer Woman. I've been following her for a long time. So when we click in this egg holder, Pioneer Woman is actually a really well-known brand. So I look at this and I see photos. There's only 4 of them. They're not really high quality, but something I think that's really, really important to note is that you've got your images and you've got your title over here and your pricing, and then you scroll down and look, it's all your competitors right underneath that. Okay, so you've got a ton of competitors underneath that. These are not necessarily sponsored ads either. These are just actually put up there by Walmart.com. And then you scroll even further, and way below the fold is your product details and your bullets here. So it's kind of important, actually it's extremely important with the images that you catch the buyer's attention with the images, that you show what your product is about with the images. You can use infographics, lifestyle images. You want to make sure to have really, really high quality photos in this. And I know Amazon sellers do a really great job with this. So I think that's going to be one of the most important things. What do you think, Tim?
All right, some other interesting things about this listing is we've got a tag here, this badge, this popular pick badge that we didn't see on the search result page, which I think is very interesting. We've got, of course, our title, and as Carrie has pointed out, the title and the images have a lot to be desired. There's not a whole lot of taking advantage of this listing space right here, but this is basically all you get is a few images in the title. You've got your add to carts, you've got your price, you've got when it's going to be delivered by, and then we've got all of our competitors. So you better make this screen count, because they have to go past all these competitors before they get to the description and the bullet points. Now we're going to go through the criteria for listing your descriptions and bullet points in another episode. I think we're 2 episodes from here, and we're going to tell you basically how we're going to write all that with the keywords within their listing guidelines. I have a few specifications, not a whole lot, and then we get down into the reviews. Now the reviews are interesting because we like to think about Amazon. Of course, we are comparing openly with Amazon right now. And there's a couple things that we have going on right now. One is there is no upvoting and downvoting, right?
Yeah.
So we know that Walmart kind of picks and chooses which review they want to prioritize. But Carrie also noticed something brand new on this listing that we've never seen before, which is interesting because it's just new features constantly being added to Walmart as we go. But check this out.
So so first of all, also at the top there's a most helpful positive review and a most helpful negative review. And what's interesting, like he was saying, is there's no upvote, so I don't know how that's actually calculated. But at the bottom of that most helpful positive review, it says incentivized review. So it's actually tagging it as an incentivized review, so it's a giveaway of some sort. And I'm curious actually to know how they've tagged that, if Walmart has a program that they've just introduced to do some sort of giveaways like Amazon Vine or something like that. But that's something I've never seen.
I think that's an excuse to do more content.
Yeah,
we'll dig into that, and we'll put that
too
in the show notes for this episode, which is at helium10.com/W4, episode 4. So we'll get to the bottom of that. Things are evolving quickly. We do also have the verified purchaser, which is interesting, that do not have the incentivized review, and you can read them all. And there's a few other things here. So really, there's not a whole lot going on. It's a very, very simple listing page. Again, focus really, really hard on your initial image. And if you want to see kind of maybe a snapshot into the future, if you scroll all the way down here, you have this DSP ad space. Now, I think that even this one didn't have the storefront, but we've got another one we can show you. So again, this is just kind of giving you a little bit of a sneak peek.
So DSP is actually only available for big brands on Walmart.com right now, but I mean, it may come out for third-party sellers. But they also have access to storefronts, and I have heard rumors that this is going to come out for third-party sellers as well. So we have a storefront here, and we've got all these different products here for Snuggle. And so this is what a Walmart storefront would look like when you click. We actually clicked on this ad earlier. It was a Snuggle ad. So we actually were able to click on it and see the actual storefront with that from that ad. So,
but it was actually hard to find. There's so few DSP ads and brand ads and things like that we had to look around. But we know that Walmart used to allow like rich media and some other kind of ad types and media types, and they've retracted that here fairly recently. And we know that it's coming back. So maybe this is a sneak peek to what that's going to look like.
Also, the DSP ads a few weeks ago used to be actually on some of the brands at the very top of the search results, and they're not anymore. So that's another great thing for third-party sellers is you're in the mix with all the brands.
Yeah, so we don't have to compete with people with huge ad budget and great branded images.
Which I think was a really smart move for Walmart, because that really seemed a little bit discouraging to me when I was looking at this even a month ago.
All right, so we told you this was going to be a fairly simple episode. There's not a ton to cover. Between the search results page and the listings, it's fairly simple, it's fairly intuitive. Again, we are putting this case study together for existing marketplace sellers, and to be a seller on Walmart, you have to be an existing marketplace seller. So most of this should be fairly easy to understand and fairly familiar to you. Not a lot of bells and whistles. It's not very complex. So when we get into the next episode, we're going to get to pick apart maybe some of those listings that we looked at. But let's go ahead and wrap this one up.
Yeah, so in review, in this episode, we covered really the anatomy of the Walmart search and the Walmart listing so that you could understand, maybe start thinking about things that you can do to make sure that your listing is really optimized. If you want to review the show notes for this episode or review all of the Project W episodes and resources at helium10.com/Project W.
And on the next episode, we are getting into one of the most fun portions of marketplace selling, and that is the photos. And I promised Carrie that we would go back and pick apart that Pioneer Woman listing because she
Yes.
really was upset about the egg tray. So we're actually going to use that as one of our
I
examples.
love the product and I love the Pioneer Woman. Let's just get that in there.
She loves Pioneer Woman. She just does not love the photos. So we'll get into all the requirements and all that good stuff in
Yeah.
the next episode, and we'll see you there.